All right, here I am again. Second video in the series, or who knows how I order it at the end, but essentially I'm going to go into talents. So in the last video, I talked about kind of the general theory behind Calvary, in my opinion, is to be fast and to leverage unyielding rush and lots of skill power in order to kill ranged units very quickly. Now I'll show you some of the talents I have. Now I typically run Emrys as my commander with Bakshi as a deputy, and I run Farendale as my second commander with Theo as my deputy. Um, the only alternative to that I'll ever run is Theo as a commander for a garrison because he's very good with garrison. And typically I'll run Bakshi as his commander because he's also good with, being more tanky for a garrison. But outside of that, I won't run Theo or Bakshi as a commander ever because they just don't have the speed that's necessary in order to run Calvary the way that I do. I'll get into pets on another video. I'll also get into artifacts on another video, so I'll skip over that for now. People will say, you have all your Calvary units maxed out, so what can I do with less stars and less skills or less talents? The answer to that is that if you take what I say in theory, in terms of like what I'm looking to do and what talents I'm taking and what artifacts I have, and you do the best that you can to level up those things, you'll essentially be following in my footsteps. And I've been powerful with Calvary throughout the entire game, all the seasons. So, I didn't have T5 until mid to late second season or something like that, maybe even third season, I can't remember. So, you don't need it. Now, if you're in season 5 or 6, like I am, and you're deciding to start, a Calvary Legion at this point, I would say that you're probably going to have to spend some money in order to be relevant. But I'll leave that to somebody else. I can't really talk too much about something I don't have experience in. So I have everything maxed, and I can tell you, at least this can be inspirational to folks that are going in that direction, that once you get there and everything is maxed, these units are very solid. So over to talents. Now, what do you do with talents? Now, I'm not a math guy. I don't sit there and put these into spreadsheets and do the mathematics of it all. With that being said, if anyone sees any kind of meta mistakes I'm making, like for instance, some things don't stack or things like that, let me know in a comment section. I might be doing something wrong, but I've been running with this for a long time and it works for me. So the first thing you want to do, and by the way, I do this all by hand. I don't, use websites or anything like that. I just go through and I literally make decisions based on what I think is going to be important for how I use it. So the first thing you want to look at is like the most powerful skills, which are, these bigger ones. You kind of want to get an idea of, I'm getting messaged. You want to get an idea of what direction you want to go on this whole three-directional talent pathways. So the first thing you always want to get is you want to get this perfect ferocity. Your Legion gains synergy when they enter battle, increasing their hero skill damage by 15% for 10 seconds. Now forget about the 10 seconds because, like I said, the units you're hitting aren't even going to live for 10 seconds. So that's perfect. It might as well be 100 seconds. And you'll see this repeating all over and over again when going through the talents. You want to focus on the things that are going to give you a lot of damage real quickly. The battles you're in are not going to last long. If you're in a battle for longer than 10 seconds, you're doing something wrong, like you're in trouble because someone's going to hurt you. The longer you're in a battle, the more damage you're going to take, especially with Calvary. They're not very strong. So the first three are pretty simple. You have no choice on the first one, so you're going to grab that. It's attack. You're going to go march speed, of course, because you're always going to take that anytime you got a chance. You're going to go health because the other two are gathering or logistics or whatever they are. You don't want that peacekeeping. You don't have a choice here, but this ends up working out great because it's plus 1% attack and 5% march speed. Great march speed. So you're going to go in the direction of perfect ferocity. You're going to get to the march speed. That's awesome. Then you have three choices here. You have taking less hero skill damage. You have more normal attack, and you have more attack for your Legion's Calvary. You want more attack in this circumstance because that's going to help you out in a lot of ways, including hero skill damage, I believe. Whereas taking less hero skill damage doesn't matter because honestly, nothing's going to survive long enough for them to do hero skill damage on you if you're doing this properly. And normal attack, you're not going to get many of those off. And you don't do much normal attack in general in terms of damage, so there's no point in boosting it. You want all your hero skill to be powerful. And to my knowledge, I think attack affects hero skill and normal, so you want that. Next section, your Legion takes less normal attack damage, don't need that. Launching a normal attack has 10% chance to grant you some rage. That's kind of okay, but like I said, you want hero skill damage first before that. So we grab the hero skill damage, and then of course we're going to grab perfect ferocity. Awesome. On the other side, you have march speed. You have, once again, more attack, whereas you would get less counterattack damage or getting haste with a 10% chance, which honestly isn't worth it. Haste is good when you're trying to run away. I mean, if you're getting haste after you did a normal attack, a lot of times if you're in an attack, you want to kill the person, right? So the march speed isn't really super important at that point. I'd rather have the march speed before I attack or if I'm running away. So you're going to grab the Legion attack again. Next, Legion deals more normal attack. Nope. Legion deals 8% or 0.8% more counterattack. Nope. I'm going to take my march speed, of course. Wasn't even a choice. Next, you have a choice between leaving buildings or resources gives you haste and vigor, or when your Legion enters battle, their attack is increased by 10%. Of course, the 10%. And it says this bonus is reduced 0.5% every second. You're not even gonna run out of that before you kill somebody. So that's awesome. Next, you're going to take Intimidation as more hero skill, and you don't want the normal attack. When casting rage skills, your Legion gains haste. Once again, not really important. If you're already casting rage skills against somebody, you most likely don't want to run away at that point. You're killing them. So that's what you're going to go with. Increase your Legion's attack by 1% and their march speed by 5%. Well, yeah, you're going to take that. That's really awesome. More attack and march speed. Your other alternatives, this one you wouldn't go after because you'd have to take the one before it. Gaining haste also gains keen. That's kind of cool, but like I said, you'd have to take what's before it, so that's not too great. Your Legion gets 8% less hero skill damage. Don't care. Next, you're going to increase your march speed by 8% when the unit count is less than 50. Yeah, this helps you when you're getting damaged. You can run away. Legion is intercepted. Their march speed debuffed is reduced by 20%. Don't care. Your Legion gains haste when they take skill damage. This requires me to take this one, so not going to happen. So this one's kind of like you take it reluctantly. You get more march speed when your unit count is below 50%. That's actually really nice. And by the way, it goes up very high, so you'll be a lot faster when you're below 50%. And then finally, you have a choice between when your Legion launches a normal attack against a target with fewer than 50% units remaining, they deal an additional hero skill damage. This effect can be triggered once every 10 seconds. Now, this is deceiving. You think you might want this because it does extra damage and hopefully whoever you're killing is below 50% pretty quickly. The reason why this isn't good is because you have unyielding rush coming in, which means that your first hero skill is going to happen before they're at 50%. Then your second hero skill is going to happen maybe right around whether 50%. You might not even proc it, maybe over 50%. I'm not sure. So a lot of times you're not even going to be able to use this, and then it can be triggered only once every 10 seconds. If you're in a big battle with Calvary, you're hitting skills more than every 10 seconds. So even if this was proccing perfectly, you're only going to be able to use it every other time you skill, which isn't that great. So I usually take the bottom one, which is when you cast an artifact skill, you gain haste and shelter, and actually quite a bit of haste, 50% haste and 15% defense for 10 seconds. And this is kind of niche. Like it's not gonna, change the game for you, but it's nice to be able to come into a battle, hit a Kingslayer or one of your other artifacts, and be able to run away real quick, or at least, survive a little bit longer if you're in a battle. So I go with that. This video is already quite long, so I'm gonna stop here and continue with one of the other ones in the next video.